we'll talk a little quickly about the States. You talked with Blackberry Smoke out there, and we talked earlier, and I said, you know, a few people I know out in the States went and saw you live. I think it was when you did some headline shows, some smaller venues. And they said you absolutely blew them away. And I know there was a really big, certainly online opinion of you guys out there, how good you were and how much people really loved the sound and the way you played and everything. And it's almost like you had an instant fan base spread up in the States.
And it was an absolute joy. It was a gift to go there with these fans of Blackberry Smoke who all loved the Black Crowes as well and that kind of thing. And here we come. And I had been absolutely desperate to get to America all of my days, and so it just gave me a chance to get on stage. And I think we wanted to make an impact. I didn't realise how well we would be received, but we went out with the intention of getting that. But yeah, we have a lot of people over there waiting for us to go back. It's expensive to go to America, right? The thing is that, you know, people don't get this, that, you know, traditionally speaking, when a band, you know, makes records and stuff, they have records released on both sides, and you just go there, and you should come to America because it's an American cinema. It's just things have changed now. It's not quite so easy for us to get over there. We want to. There's some politics involved. There's things that need to be worked out that we have no control of just now.
I mean, I know it's similar to like US bands coming to the UK. I mean, they'll leave maybe a couple of guitars in the US because it's like an extra $2,500 to bring these 2 extra guitars over.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like you say, a lot of finance involved.
There's 5 people in the band plus crew. You've got to get flights for everybody, return flights. You've got to get a bus or a sort of a van to travel around in with all your gear. You've got to get hotels. All of that stuff was always getting paid for. That was always getting paid for when any band toured from here over there. They just didn't talk about it because they didn't care about it, because they never saw it. They didn't have to worry about it because there was a lot more money thrown at bands because there was a lot more money invested in them. So it's now a case of just figuring out if there's a big enough sort of fan base over there, and if we can get the record out, even if we get the record out ourselves, we will do that. Because I mean, we're like the sort of opposite of Thomas Wynn and the Believers, right? Thomas Wynn and the Believers come over here, and this is where they're found. This is where they've done all their work in Europe, Germany, and well, they're playing really here for the first time. And they're loving our crowds.
I mean,
they come from Florida, and they don't have a massive following over there. They've tried and tried, and you would think, wow, they sound amazing, but America.
Blackstone Cherry, a prime example. They sell out arenas over here, but in the States, you know, it's just smaller venues.
Yeah.
Hendrix was the same.
Yeah. With the Temperance Movement was quite late on in my life. I think that America isn't as receptive in general.
It's so big though, isn't it?
With as it once was to rock bands going over, because rock isn't the biggest thing in the world anymore. It's a sort of, it's an old thing. It represents too much of the 20th century. Young people don't want anything to do with the 20th century, and rightly so, because why would you? Things have changed. It's time to move on. And if you're a young person, there's different types of music that speaks much more to what you are, who you are, what you believe in, what you don't believe in, what you want to say. Rock and roll music complains all the time about the heart. It complains all the time about being human, and I proudly do that, because I think that that's still something worthy to be said. And as much as people come up and say, well, I don't understand why you are. I don't understand why you're not. But I do understand. It's clear why. It's because we don't fit with
modern
with
perception.
what's being listened to.
See, I'm kind of the other way a bit, because I've been fortunate enough to meet and talk to and listen to a lot of young British bands over certainly the past 12 or so months. And for me, the future of British music that I like the rock music, rock and roll, like you guys play, is strong, and it's there, and I'm confident with that there's a future for it. And it's so good to see these young bands bringing their own take, because there's not one that I could say sounds like one of the others. They're all very individually sounding, even though it's a similar genre, if you like, if you want to pigeonhole someone like that. It's just really good music in my eyes. And a lot of the fan bases that I've seen at the shows are very young and will go to an older age. You know, it's very diverse.
In their 30s?
We're talking in their teens a lot of the time, but also up to their 50s and 60s. So there's a really good broad spread of age.
I know. I mean, that's I love those fans, because I can talk to those fans, because those fans have lived life. They've also been to see an awful lot of gigs.
But it does seem to be a generation thing where their son or their grandson or grandchild is
No,
there
it's not
with
all
them.
lost. I have taken to do a little bit of guitar tuition and things like that recently, and two of my students are like one's 11 and one's 14, and they love the guitar, and they love the bands that their dad likes, and they love, you know, modern rock and roll and stuff like that as well, modern metal and things like that.
You can kind of
And they love the
quietly
guitar,
influence.
and you can see, and you can. It's enthused me, because inspired me, because, you know, because there is a part of the generation that are going to absolutely take over the world in the 20s and the 30s.
I mean, I just love live music. It can be classical, it can be operatic, it can be rock and roll, it can be punk. If it's live, I'll watch it and listen to it, and it'll interest me.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot a metal gig last year, and it totally blew my mind, because almost like each band was almost like an act, like a play. You know,
Okay.
I wasn't into that style of music, but it was intriguing to see it and hear it, and I think that's just live music does that. Whether it's, like I say, whatever genre live music is, jazz, blues, whatever. If it's live, I love it, and I think that comes across to people that really do like the music.
No, I think that the one thing that I'm proudest of, and it's not just in our band, but this, I genuinely believe that is, you know, because I love technology, and I love the laptop, and I love the software that I learned years back to figure out, to record everything, and it's lovely, and I've benefited a lot from that. So the Temperance Movement as well. Music that is made solely from that base, from music that is made from technology, or from starting from that, because it sounds cool, that's a good groove, or that's a cool bass sample or whatever, let's make a song out of that. That's not what we do. Anytime I do that, I just feel miserable. The connection between the 5 people on a stage playing music together, I think genuinely hits people in a different way than watching Kanye West's.
I mean, all the technology, like you talk about, can enhance a finished. Yeah, you can finish a project slightly different, but the core.
I mean, I
sound
think it's
has
just,
to be there originally.
It's a different thing watching a lone sort of star on the stage come on and sing their stuff with just a backing track or whatever. I don't refer actually to Ed Sheeran here, because I think he does something.
So you can actually play an instrument.
He can play it, and
yeah.
he's brilliant at dancing about and jumping on the pedals, and that's great. And that's wonderful. But just backing track stuff, then you're relying on the occasion of it being this incredible person that you're, this massive star that you're seeing, and the volume and the power of how loudly the backing track was played.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a different thing altogether than rock and roll music.
I mean, personally for me, I think to see how good a band really is when you go and watch a band live. It's better than the studio recording. You know, it comes and you think, wow,
Well, it should be. Eddie Vedder said that the recorded version of the song is just it's like an animal in a cage, and
It's a promotional tool, isn't
when
it?
you
for the
get it on
band?
the stage, that's when you let it out, and the song lives. It becomes faster. It becomes harder. You eventually forget
You can-
what it was that you recorded.
Guest vocalist, jams, and everything goes
Mm-hmm.
into it, and it just sounds amazing. Listen, Phil, I've taken up far too much of your time. It's been
No,
an
that's
absolute
just what being
pleasure.
on tours for.
It really has been a pleasure, and have a great show tonight. And thank you for talking to us at Two Finger
No
Media.
worries. Thank you very much. Cheers. Nice to meet you.